ASMR. Hi guys. This is
shit, it's crooked.
Hi guys.
Video.
I can't show my.
Let's move this. Is that more straight?
No, that's more crooked.
Better.
Perfect.
Okay.
Hi guys. This is Two Girls, No Cup.
Hey, lovely people. We are your biggest fantasies.
Hi.
Okay, go to sleep and take your pants off. It's
Do you feel
time.
that? The cool breeze.
Do you feel the summer breeze? That's an
Your
Isley
window's open.
That's an Isley Brothers song.
Your window's open and you forgot.
I'm gonna leave the door open. We're gonna go to Vegas in 2 weeks, and I hope to see
next weekend.
All right, next week we're going to Vegas. In next week.
Oh no, in 2 weeks.
Why? Oh yes, 2 weeks.
When are we going to Vegas?
Nobody
You'll never
knows.
know.
Don't follow us. We're going to Vegas, and I want to see Bruno Mars and give him money.
Because that's what he needs.
He does.
He needs your money.
He does. He's in debt.
You have a crazy look in your eye.
He's in debt.
Like he does.
He's in $500,000 in debt.
How do you know this?
You don't know this?
No, I don't keep up with Bruno Mars's finances.
No. It was a whole big thing. That's why he was
Where
doing
did
the
you
whole
read that?
concert. Everybody knows.
How does everybody
Search it
know?
up. It's been like this for months. Bruno Mars debt, biggest debt, because he gambled everything.
50 million.
Yeah, thought it was 500,000, but 50 million.
50 million. Bruno, what are you doing?
So that's why I'm going to Vegas, to give him all my money.
Don't.
Because
I shall not pay my debt until you pay your debt.
mi dinero es su dinero.
Mr. Mars.
Hi everybody. My name is Kat.
I'm Des.
We are Two Girls No Cup, and yeah. It's really hot. We thought last video was hot, but this is even hotter because my AC broke.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's hot.
It's pretty hot.
So,
if by any chance you hear the small fan we have going, so that way we don't absolutely fall over and die.
Because titties be sweating.
Sorry.
Yep. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So,
what are we talking about today? We are talking about okay, hold on. Let me think of the Spanish version of this.
Okay, yeah.
Loneliness. Sola, right? Alone?
No, loneliness. You know, so loneliness with a tilde. You know, it's so funny. I saw this TikTok, and it was this girl, and she was. We're gonna title it Loneliness. But it was this girl, and she goes, so, for the Hispanic ladies, what are we naming our Hispanic kids? You know, like, what are we naming them nowadays? And this girl, stitched it, and she goes, I was thinking Grayson, El Grayson. I was dying laughing.
What the Enya?
Loneliness.
It's backwards. Oh, actually, I think
it'll show right.
I think so.
Maybe.
Okay.
I guess we'll find out.
I can write
loneliness.
I think I spelled loneliness wrong.
No, it's with an.
Ah, shit. It's
too
much.
Lonely? She worked real hard on this one, guys. Everyone give her a round of applause.
That's actually kind of been my little hidden gift.
That you can write backwards.
Look how good it is. Look how nice the spelling is. Sometimes when I have insomnia, I've noticed this.
You write backwards?
When I go to sleep, I'm like, did you know? I didn't not that you noticed that because you don't sleep with me. But I don't know if I've ever told you.
No, the only time I've ever slept next to you, you sleep like this.
If anybody wants to know how I sleep,
She's in a coffin.
I
She's like this.
sleep like with my eyes open. And I were not even joking. That is how I
We're
sleep.
not joking.
Like she was over here in my house and she was sleeping like this, like a normal person.
I'm a side sleeper.
Yeah, she is. Which I love, you know. I wish I could side sleep, but I can't. I don't know why. I have to sleep like this. Or like, oh shoot, and like that. Yeah.
She said, I can't even
Literally.
roll my eyes back.
I was telling her before this that
Loneliness.
actually I want to take a picture of this. This is pretty cool.
We're going to show you guys again. Look at that. One of them will be the right
I'm
direction.
so artistic. I am so smart. You was smart. You was kind. You what's the last one? You was generous. No,
I think it was.
you was kind. You was smart.
You was smart. You was kind. You was beautiful.
I don't know.
I don't know. If anybody has seen The Help, you know.
My dad actually likes that movie. All right, everybody. We are talking about loneliness. It's 6 minutes in.
We haven't started.
Actually, you know what's crazy?
What?
Don't be mad.
What?
I went to the gym this morning at 7 a.m.
Why would I be mad?
because you want me to get my sleep.
Because you should get your sleep.
I know. But I slept for like 6 hours.
Okay, that's
And I was like,
that's not bad.
Time for a leg day.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's okay.
My insomnia is back. My insomnia is back. And she wants me to sleep, which I love.
Because she should sleep.
Which I love, but
she can't.
I woke up this morning and I was like,
Did you pop a melatonin?
I only did one, but I didn't. Okay, I went.
Done 5.
I know. I went to sleep. I went to bed at 10, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so early. I love
That
this.
is early.
I know. And so, but I had insomnia for another 2 hours.
Oh.
So I slept around 12 because I remember checking my phone and like I got a couple messages and I was like, damn it, it's 12.
That's a reasonable time.
Yeah. So I slept at 12 and then I woke up at 6 and I was like, all right,
Okay.
leg day.
I mean, I woke up at 6 as well. Or no, 6:30.
Did you see me moving?
Yep.
You saw me at the gym?
Yep.
You did?
No.
Oh. I was like, oh, that's cute.
I ran to the gym. I go, where's Catherine?
All right, guys.
Okay, so loneliness.
We're like thinking about the perfect like episode topic to talk about, and she was like, well, you're kind of going through not loneliness, but you're alone, like you don't have.
Yeah, this is the first time she's going through. She's in her single era. She's in her by myself era.
I am loving it.
She's in her me, myself, and I era.
I am.
So, which it.
I'm a lonely people.
Thank you. Parker's so cute. Her dog's cute.
I am in my
So yes.
me, myself, and I era.
I was gonna say cue the Destiny.
Me, myself, and I.
Not a fan of. Ain't no need to cry.
You know what I like from Destiny's Child?
Hmm.
I'm like catering to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had some bops.
I'll cater to someone later. I'm catering to myself right now.
Exactly.
Which is a great segue.
And so I thought that's why it would have, because we were just discussing topic ideas.
Yes.
And I thought, well, we could do being comfortable being alone.
Yeah.
Because you're alone right now.
Yes.
I was previously alone.
Well,
I was alone for a long time.
Also, I think there is a misconception about being alone, like relationship wise, because there's my brother's friend, absolutely beautiful woman. I was like we were eating food one day because he invited me over to lunch, and I was like, oh my god, this girl is so beautiful. So I asked Guia like later on, I was like, oh, is she seeing anybody? Because I was like, oh, she was talking about living with someone, and she was like, oh, my brother was like, no, she's been single for 9 years. She's like 32. And I'm like, what? That's insane. Why? And he was like, yeah, I tried getting at her, but like, but like she kind of gave up on everything. But also like, technically, I don't think she'd classify herself as being alone.
Well, you know, I understand what you're saying. I just meant like
relationship.
Yeah, like not being like being single.
Yeah,
like being comfortable being single.
Okay, we're rephrasing the podcast episode. Being comfortable being single.
Because for some people,
yeah,
that's very hard.
Yeah.
Initially, it was hard.
It was hard for me.
It was hard for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I know some other people who
are still battling the hardness.
Yeah, they just
the roughness.
The idea of being single,
yeah,
and not having somebody is like.
Well, don't get me wrong.
Like terrifying.
Don't get me wrong. There are times where like, or if I'm out with a group of like my friends, or if I'm out with you or like Faye and them, and like everyone's out with their boyfriends, whatever, and I'm like, oh, I had that thought a couple days ago because I was hanging out with them, and I was like, oh, like it'd be nice to have, because we used to all hang out as a group, you know, my ex, and then Faye and her boyfriend, and then Bea and her boyfriend, like we'd hang out, and I was like, and they were all talking about cars, and I was like, oh, he was a car guy, whatever. But then I realized, and I was like, I would rather be single and happy than be stressed out over like, I'm starting to love being single because I don't have to, like, I used to make my decisions for me and him.
Yeah, you have to consider the other person.
Right. And I would like, okay, if I go to this job, how would it affect us? Or if I did this, how would it affect us? But now I'm like, all right, cool. Just me and my dog. He my dog. How close? Yeah. I love him. Look at him. What a good boy.
Yeah. No, it can be hard. I think especially when you're used to not being single.
Yeah.
Like
how were you before?
Well, I was okay with it, but I think I was single for so long. And I'm just using single as a general, as in like, even if I talk to someone here and there,
you're like not in a relationship.
Yeah, I wasn't in a committed relationship. I'm not going to consider talking.
Yeah, it's not
stages like being with somebody.
I agree,
but
it has to be. I hate when guys do this, but you have to ask someone to be your girlfriend.
Yeah,
it's not like, oh, I thought we were already together. Yeah, none of that. Go ahead. Sorry,
it's okay. So like, I was single for a very long time, and I was fine, but I think I was single for so long that I was just like over it, because I think being single is a great time to work on yourself.
Oh, yeah,
you know, it's a great time to just like figure your stuff out.
Yeah,
and to decide what you want. Which I think part of it. I'm gonna say a little side note. You may need to date around to figure out what you want, but the point is not being in a committed relationship, you know?
Yeah.
And even if you're like dating, if you're dating around, you're still single.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like,
yeah, I agree. It's not like you're putting effort into someone else while you're dating. Excuse me. But it's not into the point where, okay, he's my boyfriend. Yeah. It's just exclusively us.
Yeah, exactly. So by the time like I found my fiance, or like I met him, I was already like, okay, I'm tired of this, because I knew what I wanted.
Yeah.
I knew what I was looking for, you know?
Yeah.
And
you're like, when is he coming?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, come on, hurry this up. Like, it's been long enough.
But it's hard. Like, I think a lot of people, and I don't want to phrase this the wrong way, after like being single for a long time, like I was thinking about my brother's friend, and I was like, it's so easy to settle, because you're like, when is he coming? When is he coming? When is he coming? And then like a guy comes along and he's not exactly on your list, but it's like, damn, I've been single for so long, might as well.
Yeah.
And it's so hard.
You're like day 955
without ass. Yeah. Like,
I went to the beach to feel the waves slap my ass, to feel something again.
Yeah, it's so easy to like settle. Yeah.
But I think, you know what? And that's partially why what was I gonna say? I just had it formulated in my brain. Oh. But like there are people who have been single for a long time, but I think sometimes even though it's easy to settle, if you're serious about what you want and everything, then you use that time or you're single that for that long because you have standards.
Yeah. But you know what? I remember when I was going through the breakup with my ex, like beginning stages, and I remember texting you because I was like, oh my gosh, well, we were so good when it was good, and whatever, he can be the same person as he was because he changed. But you're like, I don't know if you remember this, but you're like, I don't want you to be one of those people who are like 35 and like not having anything because your standards are so like, do you remember me telling that?
Yeah. Well, I think when it comes to standards, there's a balance. Because it's like
everyone has flaws.
Yeah, everyone has flaws, and you're never gonna find this like perfect, absolute cookie cutter guy.
Right.
That's just gonna be like, oh my gosh, he's Mr. Perfect.
Right.
Like that doesn't exist.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But the way
Jesus is the only one.
Yeah, the only one. But the way I see it is like, okay, when it comes to some things, you could maybe let up a little bit. Yeah. I remember
the non-negotiables for sure. No.
Yes. I remember. I'll give you an example. I remember when, after the first time I was on Hinge.
Yeah.
And then the second time, my cousin. She helped me. I was like, I'm so bored. I just want attention. And
was she single at the time?
No. Okay. No, she hasn't been single.
She's 13.
Yeah. So, I was all like, oh, but there's no point.
Oh, you were talking.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was her.
No. I was like, there's no point. I'm not going to find what I want. Yeah. You know, like, I don't know when he's going to show up, but I feel like I'm not going to find what I want.
Yeah.
And then she goes, well, just do it to have fun then. Figure out what you want. And I was all like, okay. She was like, you don't have to commit to anybody. And I'm like, you're right. She goes, maybe. She goes, just think about it. Maybe not be so picky.
Oh, I remember you telling me
this. And I was all like, excuse me, I'm picky for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I remember you
pickiness has why you
have standards.
Yeah, like, but that's why I think that is what has saved me from heartbreak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like serious heartbreak, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, so why would I? She goes, no, still have your standards, still be picky, but maybe let up on a few things.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe they don't have
let
to
a couple things slide.
6 foot and over. Maybe they don't have to be this. Yeah. Maybe they don't particularly have to be
It's the non-negotiables that are non-negotiables.
Yeah. And I was all like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
And
here we are.
Well,
I had notes for loneliness. not being single.
I mean, but it's kind of the same thing because for some people being single is being lonely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. I remember it's kind of sad, but I remember feeling the feeling of loneliness in the relationship. This is towards the end of the relationship. My last one, obviously, we were talking about that because it was good for a long time, but then like obviously we didn't have like a good foundation to work on, so like obviously, inevitably things were gonna show up, right?
Yeah.
And so I remember towards the end, because he was like battling things with his alcoholism, like he was fighting his own demons. And I felt like I was the only one in the relationship. And I remember like telling him, I'm like, bro, like come on, like work with me, you know, like we were doing good for like 2 years. What's going on now? And I was like, bro, I feel like I'm the only one here. Let's go. Come on, let's work. And like his alcoholism prevented him from moving forward, unfortunately. But that's in the past. But I think a lot of people feel lonely while being married.
Yeah, no, that's
everybody.
True.
I feel like it's inevitable. Everybody experiences that. We're human.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to be quote unquote alone to feel lonely.
Yeah. You're human. Sometimes it's not like 50-50 or whatever, 110, whatever. Or 110. Sometimes I feel like it's like 100 and like 50. But anyway, yeah, and I just felt like towards the end of my relationship, I defaulted back to feeling masculine when I was single the first time before I met him. Because before I met him, like I went through a really bad breakup.
Yeah.
And that forced me to like hate men and like I have to like I do shit on my own and I have to protect myself and I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to fend for myself. It's like, you know, a mechanism for like survival, whatever. And I felt like towards the end of the relation, well, not even like towards the end, it was kind of like throughout because he didn't really show up as a man. The man.
Yeah.
Like I kind of wore the pants in the relationship, the whole majority of the relationship. But I felt like I had that default of running back to being masculine, being masculine, being masculine. And then I remember like taking pictures of myself towards the end of the relationship. Like, and I was like looking back at them and I was like, why do I feel like a man? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sent him in a group chat.
Yeah, I was like, why do I feel like a man? Like, why do I feel like a man? Why do I look like a man? And I'd text my boyfriend at the time and I'd be like, I don't get it. I don't get why. But this whole time, it was the transition was already starting. I didn't even know he was dealing with alcoholism at that time. I was just texting him like, why do I feel like a man? And it was later revealed that he was dealing with that stuff. And I already turned more masculine, even more so than before. And so unfortunately that happened. But people can feel alone. But I totally think that the loneliness or being single, like, this is what I learned. When I was going through the breakup with my ex, my current ex, I was like really debating not to break up with him and really like fighting, pounding through it. Like, because I'm a very like, me personally, and you are too, I know, is till the wheels fall off. Type of gal. Till the wheels fucking fall off, you know?
Yeah. My parents taught me anything.
It's till the wheels.
It's how to fight for a relationship.
That's my parents, they fight over rice all the time. They're still together. Till the wheels fall off. We're till the wheels fall off type of gals. And I was like, damn, should I stay in this relationship? Let's fight. Because I was so scared of going through another breakup. And I'm like, damn, I was so alone that first time I had a breakup. And I was like, shit, I'm going to have to go through this again. And it was such a bad experience the first time that I'm like, shit, I don't want to go through this again. But this time around, obviously I'm doing better this time around.
A lot better.
But I was so scared. I didn't want to jump out of the relationship selfishly, you know. I admit it was selfish for me to do that. But like I didn't want to jump out because I didn't want to experience the loneliness again. But this time around, I actually have found the joy of being single.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed it's a pattern of mine is I have a lot. I'm a dreamer. I love to dream. But I have a lot of goals and like I just have a lot of things that I want to do, right? But I've noticed that when I am single, when I am alone, I do the most. Like for example, I've wanted to start this podcast for the longest time. I even told when I was with my ex, I was like, I want to start a podcast. I feel like I have a lot to say. I feel like I have a lot to, you know, I think I'm fucking funny, whatever, you know. And
I say all the time, I'm hilarious.
And I always told him, I was like, I want to start a podcast. I want to do this. I want to do this. And even real estate, I always told him, even before nursing, I wanted to do real estate. And then my dad and I were always talking about it. And I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And it only took me a breakup to do it. It only took me to do this to break it, to do it. And I was like after the breakup, I was like, hey, you want to do a podcast? And she was willing. So I was like,
I was like down.
I was like, okay, let's do it.
I was like, I'm so funny.
I was like, let's do it. And I was like, with the whole real estate thing, I was like, are you down?
I was like, I'm down.
She's a down ass bitch. She is.
I try.
And so like but I noticed like even then, like I've been reading more finance books lately. I've been doing this. I've been growing a lot more. And I don't think I would have done it without
the breakup,
without being single.
Yeah.
And like I feel like unfortunately I do a lot of things like without a person. Unfortunately had to take a breakup.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like even now, that's why I'm starting to do things more alone now.
Mm-hmm.
Because as much as I love you, and you know how much I love you, my brother and I were talking, and I was like, I think I want to do more things alone. And that's why I was at the night market the other day, and it like literally it felt so good to like, oh, okay, all right, this is okay. I'm gonna take myself out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I remember when I was first going through it, I was like, I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
I don't want to be by myself. Remember?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't want to be alone. But also, like, if you can't be alone, then you don't know yourself.
It's true.
You literally,
It's true.
Like, how would I have known that I like reading so much? How would I have known that I like real estate this much? How would I have known I like speaking this much?
Oh, yeah.
You know, at work, they call me the queen of yap.
You're a certified yapper.
One of the ear tech. Obviously, I have this. We're doing this podcast right now because I can't stop talking. One of the ear techs. Shout out to you, Falco. He calls me the queen of yap. It's fun. But yeah, it's. Where was I going with that? I don't remember where I was going. Oh, you have to be by yourself to know yourself.
Yeah.
How would I have known these things?
And you know what? I think that's the best foundation for getting into a relationship. Because, you know, a relationship is supposed to be two whole individuals that choose to be together.
Yeah.
You don't need the other person
to complete
you.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, if you're not comfortable
being by yourself and being whole,
yeah, then you're not whole by yourself. And then so that's going to lead to more issues in the relationship.
I agree.
Into the next one. And that's why when you're going through this big breakup,
yeah,
and then the other one kind of came along, and you were like, which one do I choose? Do I fight for it?
There were two men.
Or do I move on to something? I want to explore this.
Yeah.
And I was like, is there option C? Because I don't think you should be with either of them.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this.
You know, because you needed to learn more
about
yourself.
And I knew deep down I needed to be alone. I knew deep down. I just didn't know how to. I was a coward. I didn't know how to break it up with anybody. Because I knew deep down, I was like, I need to heal. Because that breakup that I went through with my long-term ex was
and you would just constantly take the stuff, all the crap and everything from the last one into the next one.
Even if I had a single period, I didn't heal. That last single period that I had, I didn't heal. I just swept it under the rug. And I think it's so important that during this single era, the single season that you're in, learn to dance with the loneliness. Learn, like, if you feel that feeling of loneliness, feel through it. Yeah. It's so important to feel through it. Don't sweep it under the rug, because you need to learn. There is so much joy in it. As like opposite as it sounds, there's so much joy in loneliness. You have to learn to live with it. Because it gives you strength. Yeah. It gives you total strength. Yeah. It totally does, because I've known, like we were just talking about it. You know, I wouldn't have done this without being single. You wouldn't have done a lot of things if you weren't single. Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
Because I was on the go.
My mom, it's probably is the reason why I have a big ego sometimes. But my mom, growing up, my mom was like, you are meant for greater. You're not like the average person. And you are going to do great things. And growing up, I always thought that. That's probably why I think my life is a telenovela or something. But I always had that mentality of like, I'm not meant to do average things. Oh my God, there was a quote. It was like, rational people do okay things, but irrational people do great things. You have to be irrational.
Interesting.
I believe you and I and Faye, we are not average people. We're not. That's you know, like, who does this? Yeah. Who does this shit? A lot of borderline psychotic. A lot of people, but you get what I'm saying? Yeah. You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, I always knew there was something in me that like, and I told my ex that. I always told my ex that, and he was like, no, he was super simple man, you know. But I wished he had that. I wished his parents raised him in that way to believe that way, because if he did, he would have more ambition.
Yeah.
Not just, oh, I just want to be at home. You know, it starts with the foundation.
Yeah.
If
No.
my mom didn't tell me that,
Everything starts at the foundation.
if your parents didn't tell you that, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you and I probably wouldn't even be doing healthcare or something.
It's true.
Yeah. That's kind of sad.
I don't know what I'd be doing.
But yeah, I just think like feeling it is it. There's a reason why you are in this position.
Exactly.
There is a reason why you are single.
There's always a reason.
And if you don't know why, you will find out later.
Yeah.
But there is a reason why you're in this, because if God didn't want you, I always tell myself, if God did not want you to be single, you wouldn't be single.
Exactly.
Even if you would force a relationship on someone else, it wouldn't work, because God controls everything.
Yeah.
You would not be single if God didn't intend you to be single. Is that right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I spoke too much English way too fast. I got a brain freeze. I got a nosebleed.
See, I feel like and you know what's so funny, and they always say, like, even if you ask like my fiance, he'll be like, I was fine. I thought I was gonna just
rot
be by myself, kind of. Because like I thought I was just gonna be by myself for like the rest of my life. Like I didn't. You kind of given up, and in a sense, I had kind of too. But I was just like, I wasn't like, oh, I'm never gonna find out.
You're not pitying yourself.
Yeah, I was just all like, okay. I literally was with the mindset, like I had the mentality of, I'm definitely not gonna find what I want on here. I'm just gonna use this to kind of entertain myself.
Yeah.
Have fun, and whatever happens, I got nothing to lose.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's when you let go.
It's when you let go that they come.
It's because you're forcing something. You're like, I need a relationship now.
Give it to me!
I need a relationship. But once you just loosen it up, it literally comes.
It just walks right in.
Literally. I think if you are going, and this is what I'm doing right now, because I know I'm going to have kids. I know, obviously, I'm going to have a man. Whoever he is. And I know I'm going to have kids, and I know I'm going to have my big family around.
Yeah.
I know there's going to be a time where I'm like, I'm craving solitude.
Yeah.
And I need to honor the season now, because you can still find solitude when you have busyness, but it's a lot harder. So I am honoring the season right now that I'm in, because I'm having fun.
Yeah.
You know, like, not fun as in I'm flirting with everybody, but like the opportunities are endless.
Yeah.
The opportunities are endless. And I'm not talking to anyone right now, which is great, and I don't plan to. But like the opportunity, it's just anything can happen.
Yeah.
And this season is a season for a reason. It's temporary. Whenever you go through a valley, a hill will always come.
Exactly.
Valley, hill. Valley, hill.
Valley, hill. I'm all like, okay.
But it's temporary. Things have to move.
Yeah.
Life is not stagnant. Life is not just hill.
Yeah.
I mean, valley, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Life is just not valley. It's gonna go up. It's gonna go down. It's gonna go up. That's the joy of life.
Yeah.
So I remember that during this current breakup that I'm going through, because I was going through multiple breakups, as in like I was breaking up with my whole team. I left my team, you know, for the better. But for the better. And
definitely for the better.
No, it's okay. And I came to a point where I had that acceptance. But before I found that acceptance, dude, I was crying all the time. Yeah. You know, I asked God. I remember this when I was with my ex and things were getting a little rocky. And I was like, Lord, just don't take my team away. Please don't take my team away. And I was like, you can take anything else. Literally take anything else, just not my team. And he took my team away. He took my family away. But I felt like I was going through a breakup, and I was like 25 different breakups. I had like my teammates, you know? And I remember I went to the gym that I'm at now is my new gym. And I remember I went through like one of the sparring days and I had so much fun.
I remember. We went to the beach one of those days, or like both of them.
Yeah.
You were like, so much fun.
Yeah.
I did this, I did that, and I'm like, oh, she's enjoying herself.
Oh my gosh, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like what it feels like to be in a team that supports you, whatever. And then I just remembered, like, after such a good day of sparring, I called you and I was sobbing.
Yeah.
I was sobbing, and I think that was when I truly felt like, even though I had such a good day, I felt truly alone, because I was like, they were my support system for so long. They were my family, and gone, just like that.
Yeah, I think one thing, at least on that note though, is I would say it's good to, because even though obviously you want to hold on something because you love and care for it so much, like for in this case your team, right?
Yeah,
it's good that even when you're in something, whether it be a friendship, a romantic relationship, whatever, because you had multiple friendships, right? They were your teammates. You needed, like, just because you're in it doesn't mean you have to let go of your standards. And although they were showing you like the support and everything, it wasn't
true.
It wasn't true.
Yeah, it wasn't true support.
Even though it seemed so deep, you know,
like tangible.
Yeah, and it seemed like it had like really like
good substance,
like huge roots, you know.
Foundation.
Yeah, like huge, like it was a tree and the roots were like, it was like a really old, like super, like a tree with a lot of roots, right? They weren't, sadly.
Yeah, sadly.
They weren't deep. And that's why I was all like, I know it's hard, but you need, it's the quality. The quality wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know? And I think it's good to recognize when the quality is not there. And if it's not, then
yeah. And I think I had to face that, because I think I was in denial. Because I was like, no, I came from a breakup and I found this team and they changed my life. And they were here for me, and my coach was there for me, and I loved him so much. I still do. I love my team. I loved my team. I mean, I still do, my old team. And I just was trying so hard to keep it, because I knew that if I was going to break up with him, I knew I'd be losing them.
Yeah.
And that's why I was trying so hard to
I just thought of our Jersey Shore letter going.
I was trying so hard to grasp onto the relationship just to keep the team.
Yeah.
And that was selfish. Again, that was very selfish of me, and that's very cowardly. But I just wanted to control.
Yeah.
And the way that the breakup between me and them happened was so, like, what's that word? Heartless.
Yeah.
So heartless. That, like, I don't know, it just felt like such a big heartbreak. So when I went to a new team or new gym, I totally, like, even though it was a good day, it's like grieving your relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, because you had a good, I just had it. You had a good day, and that kind of made you reminisce. But also, like, because when you left that gym, you literally just, I'm out hard. Without a word.
God,
you know?
It was so hard.
I know it was hard, but honestly, it was the best thing you could have done for yourself.
Yeah. And sometimes I try to convince myself, still to this day, even though I haven't, because I've been injured, I haven't been to the gym, but sometimes it's still hard for me to believe it, that it was the best decision. Because I remember even telling your dad, I was like, is this really a good decision? Should I remember even trying to convince you and Faye, like, what if I just come back? What if I just come back for one day and just don't talk to anybody so they don't do anything, whatever. But if I stayed, God, it would be so much harder.
Yeah, and you would have been holding on by the tiniest thread.
To nothing.
And you would think that it's connected when really it was already severed.
And they severed it. And
I'm sorry. All the proof was in the pudding, because when you just straight up and left without a word, what happened?
Nothing.
So you were over here crying and sobbing after a sparring day. What were they doing?
They were just having fun, living their life.
Exactly.
And I didn't mean anything, unfortunately.
That says nothing about you. That says everything about them.
Yeah. And I still love them. I love them. Mm-hmm. I love them. There's no one. I started off at the gym. I will never, I'll have so much pride. I still have so much pride that I came from that gym. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I'll never forget the 4 years that I was there. They were my family, you know. I don't talk. I don't want to, and I'm not planning on talking bad about them because I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah,
it was just so sad the way it happened, but I will always have so much. I guess I don't know what the right word is. Respect. I'll always have.
They'll always have a place in your heart.
A big place in my heart, a big mm-hmm. chunk. And I was like driving to the gym this morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Every aspect of my life is the complete opposite as it was 6 months ago. I'm in a different place of work. Mm-hmm. I work in a different place. I'm not in that small city anymore. I'm in mm-hmm. a bigger city. Mm-hmm. The same gym. I'm not even the same Muay Thai gym, the same weightlifting gym. I'm not. The people that I talk to are different. Mm-hmm. My mentality has changed. God has
completely 180.
Completely reversed me. Not just my aspects, physical aspects in my life, like location or whatever.
But yeah.
Yeah. And I remember praying, Lord, if you could just bring them back. Whoever, maybe my team, my ex, whatever, or like, you know.
Yeah.
If you can only bring them back. But I don't think God wants me to come back to that. Because look at where he's put me. Mm-hmm. Just realistically,
yeah,
I don't think he wants, because if he wanted me to come back, I wouldn't be in LA. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be in this location. I wouldn't be in Inglewood. You know?
Yeah.
It's not even in Inglewood. I just wanted to say Inglewood. But, yeah.
But see, you're doing what you should be doing during your
season of singleness.
Yeah, your season of singleness, because you're working on yourself.
Yeah.
So that way, whoever comes next
is whole. And I'm whole. I'm praying for that he's whole.
Yeah, but you won't it's impossible to be completely clean slate into every trauma. Relationship. Yeah. That's impossible, because like I said in a previous episode,
I remember.
Like, sometimes some of the stuff you are dealing with while you're single, it won't get completely resolved and like healed and fixed until you're triggered again. Because being single, you won't be triggered. There's no one to trigger you. There's no one around to trigger certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's when you choose to fully like, okay, done, settled. It's no longer an issue.
Yeah.
But you will have the best start and foundation for yourself to enter into a new relationship, whether you prefer it to be your last or not. The point is like, well, I know you do. Like, if
I'm gonna marry the next person I date. I know that.
No, I know. Please, Jesus. But that's my point. It will prepare you to be ready.
Yeah.
To be married. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you've done
the work.
And
God has guided me to do the work.
So because you didn't fight it this time,
like I did last time.
Like you did last time.
I'm healed.
Yes, you're actually healing. So then when whoever Mr. Question Mark is,
Mr. Lucky,
comes, you're like, oh, okay.
And I'm not so like codependent.
Yeah.
Which is another episode that we're going to do.
Oh, yeah, we should do that.
Today? No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know if we have time. But no, I agree. I agree. It literally, this is the time. Whoever is single right now, I'm going to tell you now. Now is the time. What is that, Eminem? What's that Eminem song?
I have no idea.
The time is now. Or is that John Cena? The time is now.
The time is now? Are you talking about his intro song?
Yeah. Is it The Time Is Now?
I don't think so. honestly.
I guess it's Eminem.
My mind is
Mama,
blanking.
dun, 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 dun. That's the beat.
That's Eminem.
Dun, dun, dun. Mama Spaghetti, Papa Spaghetti.
That's Eminem.
Okay. What's John Cena's?
Oh shit! I should know this. I can't remember John Cena's theme song, and I am so disappointed in myself.
I am too. Wow, it's disappointing.
I have loved John Cena since I laid eyes on him.
I have something to tell you.
Actually, no, I don't know about now, but
I have something to tell you.
What?
I just remembered because of my mom.
What?
Well, it has nothing to do with my mom. I don't think you're gonna be mad, but something happened yesterday at work. Okay. So it's healthcare week.
Okay.
And they give us like treats and shit, you know,
okay.
like whatever. Yesterday I went with Mr. Sandemus.
Okay.
To get some froyo.
Yeah, I saw the text.
Wait, what?
You sent me the. Can we get froyo?
Oh yeah. And I had my dandy time eating my yogurt in the break room. I was like, ah! I'm fasting.
Oh.
It was like 11:30. I was eating, and I was like, oh my gosh, this tastes so good. Like it's so early too, and I was like, wait a minute. And I like,
why are you mad?
No, I didn't think you were gonna be mad. I just had something to tell you.
Oh.
And I was like, ah! What did I do? I was considering it. My coworkers were trying to convince me not to. They're like, it's okay, Jesus forgives. Jesus forgives. And I'm like, no. No, I'm gonna gag right now.
Like, hold on.
It wasn't even that good. The frozen yogurt wasn't that good.
Interesting.
I was so disappointed.
You're like, why did I waste it on this?
I felt so convicted.
Oh,
I felt so literally.
It's okay.
I know. No, I know it's okay. I know it was an honest mistake.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, oh, it's okay. But I felt so convicted. Like, I immediately went into another room, like the bathroom, and I just started praying. And I was like, Lord, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Speaking of praying in the ER room, in the ED, can I talk about the time I prayed for my...
Oh, sure.
Literally, guys, Jesus was in the room. Jesus was literally in the room.
It just reminded me of the kids on Sunday. They're like, God was there.
That is me right now.
God was at camp.
I am one of those teenagers because he was in the room in the ED because my coworker, he's Christian too, and he's going through. He's going through it. Going through it a lot. Okay, and he was like, I was like washing my hands, and he was like, Kat, you're Christian, right? And I was like, we went through this. I invited you to my church, and he was like, so I'm waiting for an answer today, and it's gonna come today, and I need you to pray for me. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we found an empty room, and we did this, and I was like,
my hands are sweaty.
And I was like, Lord, I know that when 2 or more people come into a room and pray, the Holy Spirit is there. And I was like, oh my God, it was such an exhilarating, like, it felt so good. And I kept stuttering my words because I was really nervous. And I had to pray for him twice because I forgot some of the things that I wanted to say the first time. But it's good. Oh my God, I felt like a true Christian woman. It was amazing.
That's good though.
It felt amazing. It felt amazing. I think my relationship with Jesus is because I'm going through like a dry-ish season right now, and I think we're coming back to the top. Coming back to the top.
It happens.
Mama spaghetti.
Myself and I.
Mama spaghetti, Papa spaghetti, me, myself, and I. I'm like, an
Eminem Destiny's Child remix
by the 2 girls. No cup. Girls, gals. Fudge! What are we talking about today? We already talked about it. What else do we got to talk about?
Do you have any other notes?
To do more.
Oh, you went through all your notes already.
I did.
Wow.
Being alone does not equate to loneliness.
No.
If you are single and lonely right now, just understand loneliness is an emotion
Yeah,
is a feeling.
Momentary.
Very, very, very momentary. It's not forever.
Mm-mm.
It's not forever at all.
And you know what? Really quickly with that, if you can't handle, say you're going through a breakup, right? If you can't handle being physically alone all the time, and like initially, then like
you got community.
Yeah, get plugged in.
Join a connect group.
Get plugged in.
Make these rows into circles. If you don't want to go to church, no, you do.
Like just hey, do you want to hang out?
Literally.
Hey, can we do something? Hey, and you know what? If you have to be honest, be like, look, I'm kind of
going through
not feeling great right now. Do you think we could go do something?
Literally,
can we go walk around somewhere?
The beginning of my breakup, we were together like every day,
all the time.
And I feel like I love you to death, but I feel like right now, my life, I think God's trying to sever it more. He's trying to make me more lonely. No, I'm just kidding. I'll always be grateful for you.
Thanks.
Because when no one was there, you were there.
I was like, hi.
When no one was there, you were there. And I'll always cherish that. I'll always appreciate that. You have no idea how much I love you. You don't. You really don't. And yeah.
Yeah. Literally. So there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
If you have to be surrounded by people, then surround yourself with people.
Yeah.
But good people. Yeah. Surround yourself with people you genuinely know are good for you.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
Give good advice. I remember I had a friend that would want me. I was in a relationship, and he would want me to like talk to other guys. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And not a good friend.
Mm-mm.
Surround yourself with good friends.
Yeah.
And ask guidance from Jesus.
Yeah.
If I didn't ask for guidance, I probably would have still been at the old gym.
Yeah, and then you'll realize you're like, okay, I could handle doing this by myself. I can handle doing this by myself.
The first month is the hardest.
Yeah, I can handle doing this by myself.
But literally, I was our friend, I guess. He was going through a breakup. You met him that day.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm going through a breakup, blah blah blah," and he was going through it, and you were telling him day by day, literally. It's not because it's so hard to see the bigger picture if you're like, I have to do this for months.
Yeah.
But if you see,
how long will I be single?
Right. You don't know. Only God knows. But once you are like, okay, wake up at 7, make it to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Make it to 9. All I got to do is make it to 9 p.m. and then start over the next day. Wake up at 7. All I got to do is make it to 9.
Yeah.
Let's do something fun. Let's do something fun today. And then one day you're stepping. I think we've already talked about this. You're stepping and stepping and stepping, and you're there.
Yeah. Pretty soon you're like, oh, okay, I'm chilling.
And yeah.
And you've been chilling.
Yeah. And you've actually been chilling this whole time.
Yeah, you've been chilling. And then you're like, oh, wow, this is a lot easier than I thought.
You got to let go. I think that's the first step is going through a breakup. You have to learn. And it's so much harder said. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Because it was so hard for me to let go of a lot of things. A lot of things. But the more you force something, the more that you grasp and grasp and
the more it wants to run.
The more it wants to run. The more that you have actually no control over it. Because you don't have control over anything.
Yeah.
Literally. And so you just gotta let go. It's so much easier said than done. But you just
let it go.
Let it go. Weight will be shifted off your shoulders. It'll go to Jesus.
Yep.
Go to God. Literally, I used to pray, Lord, I'm gonna let go and let you do the work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you do the work.
My parents call it plain hot potato.
Yeah.
So every time you feel it, you just, okay, you take it. And then when it comes back, you're like, okay, I'm giving it back to you. I'm giving the hot potato back to you. And then soon, and then you're gonna realize it comes less.
Yeah.
And then it's not there anymore. And you're like, oh, okay, I didn't have to deal with it at all.
And it gets easier because the only way for things to get easier is practice.
Yeah.
Is practice. So the more you practice hot potato, the more you practice, okay, Lord, I'm gonna let go and give it to you.
I'm not worrying about it.
I'm so glad I'm in this part of my life where it's like that, because literally when going through the breakup, I was like so much. My acne was flaring up. I was losing hair. Do you remember? I was balding. I was bald. I was literally
all
balding.
the stress.
Yeah, and I was like, I couldn't sleep. I had insomnia all the time because I didn't want to let go. And now I'm just things. Nature is healing. Nature is healing. I am nature.
She back.
She's back. And she back.
Back again.
Return of the Mac. I think we're all saying all the songs from the thousands.
I think that was. I'm pretty sure that was an Eminem song, actually. Guess who's back?
Is
Back
it?
again.
I don't
Who's
know.
back? Tell your friends.
Oh, I thought that was Tupac. I thought it was Snoop Dogg. Wasn't that Snoop Dogg? Oh, I wouldn't know.
Shady's back.
Oh yeah.
Except Shady's dead now, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening with Eminem lately.
We should listen to Return of the Mac.
Okay. I love Return of the Mac.
I always resonated.
You know what? We should.
I resonated this song with my ex because his Instagram name was Mac.
I feel like maybe I wish podcasters can do it. You know how like artists copyright? Are able to no. You know how artists on Spotify are able to make their own playlists?
No.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Artists on Spotify,
yeah,
like who have music posted on Spotify, can make their own playlists to like put on their Spotify, so like the fans could hear the playlist. I wish we could do that. I totally make playlists.
Oh, let me see if we can.
I would totally make a playlist.
Maybe we can.
You know what I mean?
We should search that up.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to say?
I don't think so.
We have to cut a lot. I have to edit a lot.
Yeah. Just work on yourself. Everything will come in due time.
In due time. What that means is in Jesus' time.
Yeah.
Because he has the most perfect time.
Yeah. And his time isn't our time, which could be annoying, but it's the way it is. And the way he does things can
be annoying.
Yeah, but it's the best way for it to happen.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, it's gonna give the best outcome.
You have no power. You literally have no power compared to God.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
None. Zero. Zilch.
Sorry. Hate to break it to you. That's a true, cold truth.
Accept it.
Accept it. Love it, let go. Maybelline. All right, y'all. We are going to go celebrate our best friend. Her frontal lobe has developed.
Quarter life crisis.
And I'm the last one for my quarter lobe to develop.
Yes.
Yesterday in the ER, we were talking. Me and my coworkers were like, because I was talking about my birthday and like the plans, and I was like, my frontal lobe hasn't fully, and I didn't remember developed, hasn't really arrived yet. And he was like, you mean developed? I was like, yeah. All right, y'all.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day, y'all.
We'll see y'all next time.
We'll see y'all next time. Next week, we'll have a great video.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.